You know, I grew up in the city riding a bike to get everywhere. Maybe even more so when I relocated to Penn State University and State College. I did that until I was almost 21. Nothing gave me more freedom, the ability to discover new things and go further than my feet were willing to walk. It truly was a part of me and a way for me to express my feelings without judgment. Riding in the heat or cold when I was angry or frustrated, in the wind or the rain to hide the tears of pain while coping with personal issues. And now it's been almost 30 years. You see, I needed to ride my bike just 2 city blocks to sell an expensive computer video card so I could make rent for the month, the plight of the college student. By this time in my life, I had ridden my bike in races, in tours, and in general, well over 1,000 miles. Most recently, I was adventuring into the woods where someone would say, "Hey, follow this stone path," and I'd look to the side of the road and see the hint of a deer path and tell them, "No, I found a better way." Because like I said, this was about freedom and expression and discovery. All the things that, when you wrap them together, become exploration and adventures. There was no terrain I couldn't traverse, no obstacle I couldn't maneuver over, no rock I could hop across, no distance that was too far. 1 block. Yeah, that's it. That's all the further I made it on September 13th, 1993. You know, I averaged a 24-mile ride to my job selling newspapers by phone calls. 12 miles out, sell the papers. 12 miles back along one of the busiest highways in State College. I worked 6 days a week for 6 hours a day. I was healthy, strong, full of life, and indestructible. 1 block. And I remember seeing the car turning off of the highway as I crossed the small side street, and some blurred glimpses of being caught up in my bike frame in some weird position. Someone walking along the sidewalk on the other side of the street saw me when all was said and done. They told me the puddle of blood around my head took up 2 full sidewalk blocks and was flowing like an open spigot. When the first responders came, I apparently struck out at them and cold-cocked one of them. I remember reading the bill at a later point, which charged me for literally tearing through the hold-down straps of the gurney. Twice. I was listed as DOA at the hospital, and then I guess I sat back up or gave them some sort of sign that I wasn't dead yet. They stabilized me while Life Flight came in to pick me up and take me out to Danville, 100 miles away. Depressed fracture of the occipital lobe, fracture and separation of the zygomatic arch, crushed acoustic meatus, severe lacerations and disconnection of the ear canal through the temporal bone, acutely perforated tympanic membrane, and of course some cerebral edema to the point of brain mushrooming, and where the brain tries to push out of the skull and makes what looks like a mushroom on the outside of your head. 1 block. It's all the further I made it, and ended up dying on a sidewalk. And the only thing the newspaper thought was important to report is he was not wearing a helmet. When I recovered and was released from the hospital, I couldn't speak right. I couldn't think right, couldn't see right, couldn't hear, and, well, to this day, I still can't smell anything worth its salt. The biggest obstacle was the fact that I couldn't remember a damn thing. I graduated the top of my class. I was an esteemed member of Mensa. I had the best grades in college you could ever have wanted. And I couldn't remember people in my own family, where I grew up, who my girlfriend was, what year it was. As a matter of fact, when I was asked who the president was, all I could say was, his nose looks like a penis. Hours and hours spent in recovery working on computer programs to test my memory capabilities. I remember I even cheated on that by stealing the doctor's pencil and writing down the code he used to get free hints in the program, so it looked like I was making some progress. When I left the hospital and got back to my home, things were different. People were different. My bike was different. The next 30 years are almost a blur. A job, marriage, mortgage, money hand over fist, kids, divorce, bankruptcy, joblessness, despair. And it's only been in the past 10 years or so that I've started to pick up from that blur. And the one thing that always gave me an escape, the thing that gave me freedom, the device that helped me find an inner peace, well, it's been sitting around rusting, collecting dust, rotting away, reminding me of something that happened. Something that changed my life forever, and not in a good way. 30 years. Well, I got my life working again. This time, I think I'm on the right path. No more corporate America. No more chasing the almighty dollar or a dream home or fast and loud cars. No more visiting sites because they have a high rating in a dystopian society's social media ranking system. I need to get back on this path where I started, when I was on my bike. You know, I'm quoted as telling people that man is bound only by the limits he creates. Take away the limits and nothing, absolutely nothing, is unattainable. I need to live by those rules again and practice what I preach. Like Jordan Peterson said, the interesting thing about being alive is that you're all in. This life is going to kill you. I think you should play the most magnificent game that you can while you are waiting for death, because do you have anything else better to do? So why not pick the best things possible that you can do? And I look forward to bringing you along this journey, this odyssey. It's time. It's time for me to ride again and regain freedom in the wilds.